Imagine waking up to find your favorite team has traded away its heart and soul. Not just a star, but a generational talent who carried your city's hopes. That's exactly what happened in Dallas when the Mavericks shipped Luka Dončić to the Lakers. This wasn't just a trade, it was a betrayal. Today, we're diving deep into why this move is a catastrophe, how it's unraveling the Mavericks' future, and what it teaches us about loyalty and leadership in sports. Buckle up, because this is a story of hubris, missteps, and a fan base left in the dust. Stay with me until the end for a lesson every sports fan needs to hear. Let's set the stage. Luka Dončić, a five-time All-NBA first-team superstar, was the Mavericks' golden ticket. At 25, he was averaging near triple-doubles, leading Dallas to the NBA Finals just last season. But then, in a move that shocked the basketball world, GM Nico Harrison traded him to the Lakers for Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and a single 2029 first-round pick. Yes, you heard that right. One pick for a player who could have been the face of the NBA for the next decade. The fallout? A 13-20 record, a 10th seed in the West, and a fan base chanting "Fire Nico" at every turn. Meanwhile, the Lakers are thriving at 23-13. With Luka dropping 45-point games like it's nothing. So, what went wrong? Let's break it down. The trade was a gut punch to Dallas fans. Picture this. You're at a Mavericks game, the arena buzzing with excitement, only to hear the news that Luka, the kid who brought hope back to Dallas, is gone. Social media exploded. X posts called it the worst trade since Herschel Walker. Fans felt betrayed. And the Mavericks' response? A closed-door press conference with no cameras, no microphones, and an invite-only guest list. If that doesn't scream, we're hiding something, I don't know what does. Nico Harrison spoke for barely 5 minutes, repeating "defense wins championships" like a broken record. It was as if he thought fans wouldn't notice the gaping hole in their roster or their hearts. Here's where it gets personal. I grew up rooting for teams that made boneheaded moves, and I know that sting. When my hometown team traded away a star for peanuts, it wasn't just about losing games. It was about losing trust. Dallas fans are living that nightmare now, and the Mavericks' secrecy only makes it worse. Transparency could have softened the blow, but instead, they doubled down on arrogance. Nico Harrison's big justification for the trade was defense. Defense wins championships, he said, as if Luka was the reason Dallas couldn't stop a nosebleed. But let's look at the facts. Last season, after acquiring P.J. Washington and Daniel Gafford at the trade deadline, the Mavericks had the NBA's #1 defense. In the finals against Boston, they held the Celtics to 107 points or fewer every game, even limiting them to 84 points in one outing. That's elite defense, folks. So why trade Luka for Anthony Davis, a phenomenal two-way player but one nicknamed Data Davis for his injury history? And why sign Klay Thompson, a shooter whose defensive prime is long gone, if defense was the goal? Here's my take. Nico's obsession with defense is a smokescreen. Luka's playmaking and scoring were the engine of this team. Trading him for a defensive anchor like Davis assumes you can replace Luka's offense, but Max Christie and a future pick aren't doing that. It's like trading a Ferrari for a sturdy pickup truck and a coupon for a tire rotation in 5 years. The Mavericks didn't need to reinvent the wheel, they needed to tweak it. Keep Luka, build around his strengths, and address defense through role players, not by dismantling the core. Now, let's talk about the puppet master behind this mess, Patrick Dumont, the new Mavericks owner. Dumont, part of the Adelson family, bought the team from Mark Cuban with promises of a state-of-the-art arena by 2031. Great, right? Except Dumont's no basketball guy. He once called the NBA Finals the championship games and praised Shaquille O'Neal's work ethic eeks. Sources say he trusts Nico Harrison blindly, and when Nico pitched trading Luka, Dumont reportedly laughed before saying, "You're the expert." That's not leadership. That's negligence. Compare that to Cuban, who for all his flaws lived and breathed Mavericks basketball. Sure, Cuban let Steve Nash walk and passed on drafting Giannis Antetokounmpo, but he also built a title team around Dirk. Dumont's hands-off approach has left the Mavericks rudderless, with Nico making galaxy-brain decisions like trading Luka for a future that's already crumbling. And don't get me started on the draft pick situation by 2030. The Mavericks will have no first-round picks, leaving them in a rebuild purgatory with an aging Anthony Davis and no young talent. The press conference was the cherry on this disaster Sunday. ESPN's Tim McMahon grilled Nico, asking how trading Luka for a 3 to 4 year window while sacrificing future picks made sense. Nico's response? Defense wins championships. No elaboration, no logic, just a catchphrase. It was like watching a politician dodge a scandal. McMahon pressed harder, and Nico had nothing. Fans deserve answers, not platitudes. This wasn't just a PR fail. It was a middle finger to everyone who's ever bought a Mavericks ticket. Here's where I get analytical. Nico's leaning on injuries, like Kyrie Irving's ACL tear, as an excuse, claiming the trade would have worked if not for bad luck. But building a team around Anthony Davis, who's missed significant games every season, is a gamble, not a strategy. Luka, for all his beer and hookah habits, played 70-plus games a year and carried Dallas to the finals. Trading durability and upside for fragility and a single pick is malpractice. Nico's banking on a miracle, like drafting Cooper Flagg. But that's a pipe dream unless the Mavericks tank hard, and even then, Flagg might return to Duke. So, what's the takeaway? Loyalty matters on both sides. Fans invest their hearts, time, and money into teams, and teams owe them transparency and competence. The Mavericks traded Luka Dončić, their once-in-a-generation star, for a shaky vision of defense and a future with no picks or prospects. They hid from accountability, raised prices, and left fans feeling abandoned. This isn't just a Dallas problem, it's a warning for every sports franchise. Betray your fans, and you lose more than gains. You lose trust. If you're a Mavericks fan or just love basketball, let me know in the comments. How do you feel about the Luka trade? Are you still rooting for Dallas, or has this pushed you away? Hit that subscribe button for more deep dives into the NBA's biggest stories, and share this video with anyone who needs to hear this cautionary tale. Let's keep the conversation going.